Hey guys, this is Mel. If you're listening to this, you are about to hear a super special sneak peek of our latest bonus episode, but fair warning, this is just a sneak peek, don't hurt us. It's totally optional to subscribe, but if you're interested, you can check out our Patreon by searching Significant Lovers Patreon online. Hope you enjoy.
Are you lonesome tonight? Do you miss me tonight? Are you sorry we drifted apart? Does your memory stray?
Okay, so guys, we have a royal wedding to talk about.
True.
Woo! So it is April 29th, 2011. It's 8 a.m. and the Queen has bestowed upon William and Kate their new titles. They both become they become the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, the Earl and Countess of Strathern, and the Baron and Baroness of, how do you say this, Carrickfergus? You guys don't hate me. I hope that's right.
It's my guess is as good as yours.
The wedding is taking place at Westminster Abbey in London in front of 1,900 guests for the ceremony. Meanwhile, there are 600 guests invited to a lunch reception at Buckingham Palace hosted by the Queen after the ceremony. And then there's only 300 guests who are invited to the evening dinner hosted by Prince Charles. So I would say like the evening dinner is like the wedding like the reception. That's when they dance and kind of do more of like the party stuff. And just 300 people, which is a lot for a wedding, but for them it's kind of intimate.
Crazy there's 600 people at the lunch. That's a lot.
I know. That's like a full camp of people. Summer camp. But so some notable guests at the wedding were David and Victoria Beckham, Sir Elton John and David Furnish, Brown Atkinson, who plays Mr. Bean, Guy Ritchie. Interestingly, if you guys listened to last episode, William has a couple exes that came up a couple times, and 3 of them actually were invited to the wedding. Jekka Craig, who was the environmentalist that he dated when he was 16, was invited. His summer fling from when he was 18, Rose Farquhar, was invited. And his summer romance from when he was 19, Arabella Musgraves, also got an invite to the big event. And he even invited, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was an heiress who he was pursuing while him and Kate were on a break named Isabella Anstruther Go Calithrop. She has a big name. She even got an invite to the wedding.
But she didn't go?
She did.
Oh.
I mean,
that's crazy.
It's the event of the century. Like,
I guess that's true.
You know.
But Carly, the country bumpkin,
I know, I was just going to say.
I don't think so. Or maybe she was and it just like didn't make the papers.
Yeah, but she didn't make the cut with all this like thousands
she was
of
the
people,
best.
You know? I feel like it's crazy to invite exes to the wedding, but when it's like Westminster Abbey with all those people and they're so far away from like where the altar is, it's like, okay, I guess I can kind of see why maybe they'd be invited and it's not that big of a problem. I think if they went to the reception with only the like 300 people, maybe that's a little different. But for the Westminster Abbey wedding part where it's like the wedding of the century, I think it's fine for his exes to have gone.
Yeah, and like at this point he's moved on.
Yeah.
You know, if I was Kate, I wouldn't really feel threatened by an ex in the audience.
Hopefully they were in the back row.
Like really in the back.
For them, it's probably more of like, like you want to be at, because you are British and this is super cool to be at the royal wedding. It doesn't happen so often. So you're not even thinking of it as being there to see your ex. You're thinking of it as the prince and the princess. But I asked you guys on Patreon very shortly before recording, do you consider yourself close friends with any of your exes? And by close, I mean close enough to attend each other's weddings. And 16% of you said yes, that you are, and 84% said no, you are not. and I got a couple responses. I hope it's okay if I read them, guys. Allison said, I guess I wouldn't go anyway because I hate spending money on weddings, but have been invited. Which it does make me think of our last or couple episodes ago, Nina Dobrev and Ian Somerhalder, how she was invited. But the funny thing about that, listening back, Caitlin, you were like, oh, it was just a private, small wedding with just a few family and friends. But it's like, why did Nina make the cut then for the wedding?
I guess because, like, the whole cast was invited. So that's why she kind of
probably, like, the main characters, cut. At least.
Yeah.
It was like the main cast of characters were invited, like all of them. And they all went. So that's why she kind of made the cut.
Yeah. Muna said, I once heard a quote that stuck with me. The older I get, the more I have found it to be true. If two lovers can remain friends, either they are still in love or they never really were. I will say there are totally exceptions to this, but if you think about it, there are some truths to it.
I love that. I want to repeat that next episode.
I know.
Ooh.
Oh, for your episode. Ooh, little sneak peek. Yannicka said, not close to my ex. We were together for 3.5 years, but very close to his little sister. She was, I think, 10 when we met, and she has been like a little sister to me, and I still consider her family. We meet regularly and text almost daily, but I never see my ex, and he's not really a topic that naturally comes up when we meet or chat.
Wow. That's nice she was able to keep the friendship going.
Yeah.
It's really sad when you break up with someone and you no longer get to see their friends or family that you might have liked, so it's nice.
And then one more response, Heidi said, the ex I'm friends with is someone I dated when I was 19 to 20. I think we see that time together as being young and still transitioning into adulthood. Our breakup was sad but positive, and after 2 years of no contact, it can really be super healing. We randomly crossed paths again and became solid friends. Now we're close to our 30s and both had serious relationships since then. We are still good friends and do stuff together because we discovered that being great friends doesn't always translate to a great romantic partner. Honestly, consider him a friend for life, but have been a part of each other's major life events just like any other close friend. But the thought of being romantically involved again, yuck, like emoji. No, thank you.
I think it has to be that way.
Yeah.
All right, I will have to stop the episode right there. Thank you so much for listening to the teaser. If you want to hear the full episode and many other bonus episodes, you can find them on Patreon. You can search Significant Lovers on the website or download the Patreon app. It works a lot like regular podcast listening apps. And we have tons of other couples on Patreon to listen to. So thank you so much for listening and supporting the show, and we'll get back together next week.